He was only 13 when Nazis took him away from his parents. They were hoping to use Willy Langbein and thousands of others as soldiers against Hitler's enemies.
And the children were never expected to return alive, but against all odds, Willy survived. His daughter Heidi helped write down his story in her book titled Save the Last Bullet. And joining us tonight to talk about this book is the author herself, Willy's daughter, Heidi Langbein. Alan, welcome.
Well, thank you very much for having me and for giving me the opportunity to talk about the book.
And it's timely. It's Holocaust Remembrance Day today, remembering the more than 6 million Jews who were killed. Tell us a little bit about this book and what inspired you to write it.
As you said, my father was taken when he was 13 years old and survived the war. He was devastated when he actually came home and realized what had actually happened. He resolved early on to dedicate his life to the furthering of democracy in Europe. And what inspired me to write the book is that in his later years, I finally convinced him to write his memoirs. He had PTSD and didn't want to, but eventually relented. And I was able to capture I think the essence of what happened. It's really compelling because he was worried about the current events, the geopolitical events unfolding.
And there he is with you right there. Tell us a little bit more about what inspired you to write this book.
The inspiration came because I felt compelled, given the geopolitical events and the increase of nationalism and of extreme movements around the world. My father became very concerned, and it compelled me to preserve this information for future generations, because I think it's an important historical account that should be shared and hopefully encourage reflection on the catastrophic effects of autocracy and violence and war.
And hopefully never happen again. It must have been difficult to hear the stories and possibly even to live with him. You're mentioning he had PTSD and that came out in many ways. Was it difficult for him to recount those stories and in detail?
Yes, it was. That's why it took him so long. He didn't do it until his 70s. And he felt a deep sense of responsibility toward what had happened. Even though he had been an unwitting participant, he felt a sense of responsibility.
But they essentially brainwashed him during that time to think certain things, to believe certain things, to believe that they were doing the right thing. Yes,
he believed he was defending his country against the Russian aggressor. That's what he was told, and he was deployed as cannon fodder, really, at the end of the war in March '45 when he was 14 years old, to stave off the advance of the Russian army.
You know, what does it mean to you to really have your fathers now immortalized in this book? And there's some pictures in here which are simply amazing. You're very lucky, I think, that you had many of these pictures, but what does it mean to you?
It means that I can bring his legacy forward and that we can preserve this information for our children, because I think that is also the entire essence of Holocaust Remembrance Day. It's to not forget. Elie Wiesel said it the best, for the living and the dead, we must bear witness, and I think that's what I'm trying to do.
You know, the Nazis had taken away so many families and separated so many families, and so many of them at first did not know why the children were being taken away. It was under the pretense, obviously, that they were really just casualties of war. They were going to be used as soldiers. What happened to his parents, to your great-grandparents?
My grandparents were civilians, and my grandfather was operated in the German Reichsbahn. He was actually a state employee. My grandparents, I think like many other Germans, didn't dare speak up, unfortunately. But at the very end of the war, my grandmother hid a Jewish family in the coal cellar of her house.
Wow.
It's just fascinating, obviously, to see the photos. And what inspired you to write the title, Save the Last Bullet?
That's what these young children were told. They were told by the Nazi handlers to keep the last bullet for themselves, because being captured by the Russians was a fate worse than death, because they would be tortured.
Wow. Listen, thank you so much for being here tonight and sharing this story. Very important. Has it been received pretty well? Have you had book signings, that kind of thing? Yeah.
Yes, it has been received very well. I'm very pleased. I had a recent book signing at Warwick's on March 12th here in La Jolla. And I'm very pleased with how people are receiving the message. I think that it is encouraging reflection on the devastating effects of autocratic rule and of war, and hopefully will never happen again.
And it's important to write down, even if those memories were difficult, it's important to remember where we were and where we're going.
Yeah, we should never forget that, so that we don't take the possibility of war lightly.
Yeah, exactly. Some good advice there. Listen, thanks again for coming in, Heidi. And of course, if you want to learn more about Save the Last Bullet, go right over to our website at fox5sandiego.com, and you can click on the Scene on 5 Fox 5 tab there.